Wes Craven, director of A Nightmare on Elm Street, comes a story of the forbidden world between life and death.
There's a door to the mystical, and you just walk through it.
Somebody brought him back from the grave, and I want to know how they did it.
Death is not the end.
I'll take your soul.
You think you can take these people's secrets and just walk away?
In the shadows of the imagination lies the ultimate nightmare.
Don't let them bury me. I'm not dead.
In the realms of myth, folklore, and the supernatural, the concept of zombies has captivated human imagination for centuries. Sensationalized Hollywood portrayals of mindless, flesh-eating creatures have been some of the highest-grossing films for the horror genre. But the history of real-life zombies weaves a fascinating tapestry of cultural beliefs, religious practices, and historical events. One of the earliest films portraying real zombies was inspired by a controversial first-hand encounter with an individual who claimed to have experienced zombification. First though, the concept of zombies originated from West African voodoo and was brought to Haiti by enslaved Africans during the colonial period. In the 17th and 18th centuries, French colonizers brought a vast number of enslaved Africans to work on the sugar plantations in Saint-Domingue, which is present-day Haiti. These enslaved individuals came from various ethnic groups with their own unique spiritual beliefs and practices. In the harsh conditions of slavery, African captives are forced to adapt to their new environment and often had to hide their religious practices. To preserve their beliefs, they combined their native spiritual traditions with elements of Catholicism. This blending of beliefs gave rise to what we now recognize as voodoo, spelled V-O-D-O-U. In voodoo, there is a belief in the existence of a spiritual world where Loa, aka spirits, reside. These spirits play a central role in the religious practices and beliefs of its followers. Practitioners of voodoo build relationships with these certain spirits through offerings, songs, dances, and ceremonies to seek the spirits' guidance, protection, and blessings. The relationship between the spirits and the voodoo practitioners is characterized by mutual respect and mutual obligation. But where do zombies come from in a religion that is characterized by mutual respect for the spirits and their believers? That is more complicated. A Bokor, also known as a voodoo priest or sorcerer, plays a significant role in the creation of zombies in Haitian folklore. Bokors emerge as spiritual practitioners and healers within the context of Haitian voodoo. They possess knowledge of herbalism, rituals, and spiritual practices which they use to provide healing and protection to their communities. Over time, though, some Bokors gained a reputation for being adept at darker practices. They were believed to have the power to curse, harm, or manipulate others through their knowledge of dark magic. For many, though, Bokor's scariest practice is their alleged role in the creation of zombies. In Haitian folklore, a Bokor, because of their extensive knowledge of spiritual practices and herbalism, are believed to have the power to revive a dead person's body. In the folklore, however, it is said that a Bokor will use this knowledge of dark magic for evil purposes, and when they revive a dead person, they also bind their spirit and turn the reanimated corpse into their mindless servant. The term zombie is believed to have its roots in the Kinkongo language spoken in Central Africa, specifically from the word Nzambi, which means spirit of a dead person or god. The zombification process from a Bokor varies based off their specific practices and traditions, but generally it follows the same several steps. First, the Bokor is said to capture the spirit or soul of the deceased person using various rituals and spells. This involves invoking specific Loa and making offerings to gain their assistance in controlling the spirit. Then Bokors use a special concoction or potion, often referred to as zombie powder. This powder is made from various ingredients, some of which may be toxic or hallucinogenic plants, animal toxins like those from a pufferfish or snake venom, and other secret substances. The Bokor administers this powder to a targeted individual. The administration of the zombie powder is believed to induce a state of apparent death, where the person's vital signs become extremely weak and they may appear lifeless to others, even doctors who would check their vital signs. This state is crucial for the Bokor's claim that the person has died. Once the person is believed to be dead, the Bokor will revive the seemingly deceased person using further rituals. The person is then believed to be in a zombified state, losing their will and personal identity, and becoming an obedient servant to the Bokor. It is important to emphasize here that the concept of zombies in Haitian culture is deeply rooted in traditional beliefs and folklore, not actual scientific evidence. Well, that wasn't until a 1980s controversy with a book that would later become the Serpent and the Rainbow film, but we will get to that in a little. Yet, even without actual evidence, the zombie phenomenon caught the attention of mainstream Hollywood in the early 1930s. Hollywood's early depictions of zombies in films were mainly influenced by the Haitian voodoo tradition, where zombies were associated with the reanimated dead under the control of a sorcerer, rather than how we see zombies today. These early movies, the most popular being White Zombie in 1932, drew inspiration from the Haitian folklore and portrayed zombies as mindless slaves. But like most things, Hollywood's depiction of zombies has evolved significantly over the years, moving away from the origins of voodoo and taking on various interpretations, particularly in the context of the undead apocalypse. But I'm not getting into that, because we know those aren't true. But as the voodoo ones go, they might just be. Now, I mentioned earlier about the 1980s controversy about scientific evidence around the voodoo zombies. Here is where we introduce the most famous or infamous piece of media on the subject, The Serpent and the Rainbow.
It's basically based on the discovery of a real-life zombie, somebody who had died in Haiti and who had been declared dead by an American doctor who later, I think a year later, turned up alive.
Before the film by Wes Craven, The Serpent and the Rainbow by Wade Davis was a book of a real anthropological exploration of Haitian voodoo and the phenomenon of zombies in Haitian culture. The book, published in 1985, details Davis's research and investigations in Haiti, where he sought to understand the traditional beliefs and practices surrounding zombies. Davis's main focus was to investigate the possibility of real-life zombies as perceived in Haitian voodoo. He immersed himself into the local culture and engaged with voodoo practitioners, including Bokors. Throughout his research, Davis examined cases of individuals who claimed to have been turned into zombies, including the most infamous case of Clairvius Narcisse. Clairvius Narcisse was a Haitian man who fell seriously ill in 1962. After showing symptoms of fever, body aches, and paralysis, he was taken to a local hospital. Reportedly, he was pronounced dead by the attending doctors and was buried in a cemetery. Around 18 years later, in 1980, a man claiming to be Clairvius Narcisse approached his sister, Angelina Narcisse, in their hometown. He told her that he had been revived as a zombie and had worked as a slave on a remote sugar plantation in Haiti for several years. He claimed that a Bokor had used a combination of drugs and voodoo rituals to create the appearance of death, and then later to control him as a zombie. The Serpent and the Rainbow also delves into the cultural and societal context of Haiti, including the impact of colonialism, the legacy of slavery, and the significance of voodoo in shaping Haitian identity. While documenting the experiences and beliefs of the people he encountered, Davis maintained a level of skepticism and critical analysis. He questioned the scientific validity of some claims and raised ethical considerations about his own research on sensitive cultural topics. Overall, The Serpent and the Rainbow provided readers with insights into Haitian voodoo, its cultural significance, and the mysterious allure of the zombie legend. The book remains an influential work that has shaped popular perceptions of zombies and sparked discussions about the complexities of Haitian folklore. But most importantly, it was also the inspiration for the film that bears the same name, directed by legendary horror filmmaker Wes Craven. The Serpent and the Rainbow, filmed in 1988, combined elements of horror, thriller, and anthropology to tell the story of an anthropologist played by Bill Pullman who travels to Haiti to investigate the alleged use of zombies in voodoo rituals. Dr. Dennis Allen, played by Bill Pullman, is asked by a pharmaceutical company to go to Haiti and research a case of a man named Christophe. Christophe had died in the 1970s, but was reported to be alive and well after his burial. The pharmaceutical company got word that a voodoo ritual was performed for Christophe, and they wanted Dr. Allen to find what was used in order to replicate it and bring it back to the United States. The main narrative revolves around the clash between scientific explanations and supernatural occurrences. Dr. Allen initially approaches the phenomenon of zombification with skepticism, but becomes entangled in a world where mystical forces seem to challenge conventional understanding. The movie also touches upon socio-political aspects of Haiti, depicting a country struggling with poverty, political instability, and the remnants of dictatorships. The film juxtaposes the horror of voodoo with the real-life horror of the Haitian government. During the film production in Haiti, the local government informed the cast and crew that they could not guarantee their safety for the remainder of the film's shoot because of the political strife and civil turmoil that was occurring during that time. As a result, production was relocated to the Dominican Republic. Overall, The Serpent and the Rainbow is a thought-provoking horror film that explores cultural, scientific, and ethical themes against the backdrop of Haitian voodoo. However, both the film and the book, The Serpent and the Rainbow, have been a subject of major controversy within the scientific community. The controversy surrounding the work stems from Davis's original research. First, many critics question the scientific validity of Davis's research and the evidence presented in his book. Some argued that his work relied heavily on anecdotal evidence and lacked rigorous scientific methodology. The second aspect of the controversy was some critics raised ethical concerns about Davis's involvement in studying and potentially validating the practice of creating zombies. These critics argued that this could be viewed as a form of harmful manipulation and exploitation of vulnerable individuals. Another criticism was the experts contended that Davis's account of zombie creation relied heavily on sensationalized aspects of Haitian folklore, rather than accurately portraying the complexity of Haitian voodoo and its cultural significance. In response to the controversy, Wade Davis defended his work and methodology, stating that he had respected the traditions and beliefs of the Haitian people throughout his research. However, the debate surrounding the book has continued for years, and some critics maintain their reservations about the accuracy and ethics of his claims. There is no doubt the influence that the voodoo zombie phenomenon has had on pop culture. George A. Romero's groundbreaking film, Night of the Living Dead, introduced a modern concept of zombies as reanimated corpses that feed on human flesh. That film inspired a wave of zombie literature and films, establishing many of the zombie tropes that persist today. Romero himself believes that he was creating something that was completely different than what is considered to be a zombie. Romero claims that he wanted to make something different than both the creatures in Richard Matheson's book, I Am Legend, which were vampire-like, and the zombies that were controlled by Bela Lugosi in the film White Zombie. Romero initially only called his creations them or ghouls, but eventually in his next film, Dawn of the Dead, Romero admittedly gave up and called them zombies, even referencing voodoo in the film. The legacy of voodoo zombies continues to resonate in our modern world. Throughout history, the concept of the reanimated dead has fascinated and terrified us, shaping our collective imagination and inspiring countless books, movies, and works of art. From the haunting tales of Haitian voodoo to Hollywood's portrayal of the undead apocalypse, the idea of zombies has transcended cultural boundaries and become a universal symbol of the unknown.